the Lunch Hour Show for me. That's right, folks. You're listening to the Lunch Hour Show featuring the Box and the Bride. And apparently, you're East Bay Pro Heavyweight Champion, so consider yourself lucky. Yo-ho.
The soothing sounds of Timekeeper coming through Facebook and YouTube can only mean one thing, ladies and gentlemen. It is Friday night, and that means it is time for your appointment viewing. The most fun you can have with your clothes on, or take them off and watch the show. We don't really care. Yes. That's right. It's the Lunch Hour, hosted by your favorite couple on the internet, starting with me, your handsome, humble, heavyweight host. The Lunchbox, that is one word, capital L, capital B. Thank you very much. Joined, as always, to this side of me by my beautiful, buxom, bouncing, and badass bride, Jen. And as the advertisements have said, and as you can see on my left, we have another capital L, capital B, but his is 2 words. Ladies and gentlemen, from the one and only Timekeeper, your friend and mine, Liam Bimps. Liam, thank you for making the trip out to join us tonight, my brother.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. How are we starting this thing?
Well, I mean,
First
thing we said, was there too much excitement to get you started?
I don't know, man. I just got like, once we get into it, I'll be fine. It's like first little, how do we start this?
Well, I mean, I thought we started good. We had our nice little 2-minute countdown. Then we had, a visit from the East Bay Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, newly crowned, by the way, the Dread Pirate Danger. And then, of course, we started off with a Timekeeper classic, The Wish to Be Remarkable. So, those of you who are watching the video here, on WPFR.com on Saturday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern Seaboard Time, you can't see the visual, but I recommend you go look it up. But it's a guy in a bunny suit running around
Bear suit. Polar bear suit.
Polar bear suit,
Yeah.
my apologies. Running around, which city was that?
That was in Ascove. It's where our old vocalist Billy grew up. So we actually went to like various places that he grew up and hung out at. Like the gas station was a place that he used to work at. We went over to one of his friends' place for one of the shots, his parents' place for another shot. And then it was called Blueberry Park. It's like a state park where we filmed like the actual instrumental parts, like all the instruments and everything like that.
So talk to us a little bit about the song itself. The wish to be remarkable. I'm assuming it's wishing to be bigger, better, more than.
Yeah, but it's also kind of about losing things in the process. You know what I mean? Word reflection, because there was a lot. I knew a shift in my life was happening at the time. It was gonna happen. I knew, I think that one was in 2020, if I'm not mistaken. Can we pull up the year on that? Let me see the year on that. When was that released? So it's not like completely losing it with something different. Yeah, 2020. Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah. So that was when COVID kind of started, right? That was that year.
That was when COVID started, and it was also in towards the back end of the first year of it, because everything lasted about a year and a half almost. It was about the end of 2021 was when we were able to start doing things. So at this point, you guys are neck deep in COVID.
Yeah. So we actually had, right before COVID, we had planned an entire US tour. And I believe the day after we had got it all solidified, they ended up shutting down everything. So we had to cancel the entire tour. Morale was really dropping, and I just kind of had a little bit of forethought that, the band we were starting to lose morale. So part of it was just kind of talking about that loss, what it would be to kind of lose that type of camaraderie, I guess, to lose the group. So it's kind of being able to talk about the things, being worried about losing those guys and what would happen afterwards if that were to happen. Maybe it's just the memories that cloud my mind, is one of the lines from it. So it's kind of talking about losing the band before it happened a little bit. So yeah, sorry, you put me on the spot here, man. I wasn't planning to talk about the actual song. Fuck. I was just video. I got the details down for it. Let's go.
Hey, what's going on out there? Joe Baker, Ellie Von Grimm, Rob Romero, Tabby, Madam J, Armani, Ellie. Thank you all for joining us tonight. For us and our special guest, Liam Bimps out here. I'll let you collect your breath a second. I'll do a little beer pour feature, because it is the Mother Earth Brewing Co. Nitro Cali Creamin'. So there's a process to it. While you're thinking about that,
there's instructions.
I'm not a beer guy, so I have no idea.
There's instruction, dude. There are instructions on this beer. So step 1, grab a glass.
A box.
You want me to cut a hole in that box and put my junk in that box?
That's step. You're skipping steps. Right?
I'm sorry. So step 1. Grab a glass, not a box. Me and Jen's anniversary commemoration. Flip the can 3 times. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. And then step 3 is pour hard. All right, I'm going to get this away from the super professional studio here. All right.
I'm so glad I don't have to pee. This would be terrible.
I know, right?
If yours fits and mine didn't, I'm going to be so pissed.
I thought that was gonna fit perfect. It does.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
You didn't flip it 3 times.
I flipped it like 4 times.
Well, see, you did it too many.
Oh my god.
You did it too many. Okay.
Instruction for a reason.
I read
I pour beer better than you. All right.
Oh.
So back on topic. So now that you've given a second. So did you guys write this during that downtime? During that, being as you know, you said that a lot of that theme was about the potential of losing the band, the potential of all this hard work going the wayside. Did you guys write this during that time?
I believe so. Yeah, it was in like end of 2019. It was in 2020. I believe it was when we had written that, because we did the video pretty quickly and did the recording fairly quickly after we had written it and everything like that. But it is essentially about losing the band like before it happened. Because I know the beginning lyrics are like, let me stop you right there just for a moment. Let's pretend that you actually cared. Like I didn't try my best to make the most of this, so on and so forth. It's essentially talking about losing those guys and how I would feel after that happened, and just kind of feeling stranded. I mean, even at the end, it's like, help me out, take me somewhere new because I'm done with these thoughts I've wasted on you. It wasn't in a negative light. It was just like, I knew that was going to kind of bring a huge phase of depression. You know what I mean? Because I had been with those guys for so long. They helped me with so much, just mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Like they were my ride or dies. And so, you know, just talking about losing that and being able to push away from it and move on to the next thing and not get so caught up in that depression. It was just a note for my future self to just kind of like let things go, and the things that happen with that are great and the memories are there, but you need to be able to move forward and not be so hung up on the past. You know what I mean?
So let me, I'm not trying to minimalize it, but compartmentalize a little bit.
Yeah.
So almost a breakup letter, almost a breakup letter to them, to yourself, to, you know, a cathartic breakup letter is kind of where I was going with that.
To a degree, I would say, yeah. It was essentially, yeah, more than anything, it was to my future self, to remind myself that like everything's gonna be okay. I can't be caught up in, you know, oh, we had this type of success or that type of success, because we did to a degree, from my perspective, we had a degree of success with the videos, the views that we got on it, the tours that we did, stuff like that. And so it was just that letter to my future self to be like, hey, don't get so caught up on this. We did it once, we can do it again. Let those memories sit and like cherish those. Don't be salty about, you know, things going a different way than what you wanted them to go, et cetera, et cetera. That kind of makes sense.
Okay, so I mean, let's step back a little bit, because, you know, now we've talked about the video itself and what that meant at that time to you.
Yeah.
Walk us through Timekeeper a little bit, because the way we met was you were stage managing or production managing, whatever it was, for Kill Fear Fest of the Bittersweet Bash back in February of last year, or 2023.
Oh God, dude. Yeah, I think so.
No,
That was 24.
Okay. And, you know, you and I mean, our first contact was over the phone, and I felt bad because, you know, we thought of ourselves as headliners, and we kind of had to, I was basically sent out with the mission to get everything booked, to kind of strong arm, to, you know, stand that way. And, you know, of course, our first personal interaction was when you're running around collecting money, dealing with people and whatnot, and you're grumpy as shit.
Well, that was stressful. That was more anxiety than everything. I probably come across pretty grumpy in those moments, because I'm like, okay, I got to do this, got to do that. I get so anxious that I just kind of like shut down externally, and I'm just like, all right, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, I got to do that, and I just move from one thing to the next.
Well,
yeah.
And so I didn't know anything about Timekeeper. I hadn't seen the videos. I hadn't heard the songs, none of it. And then middle of the day on the hip hop stage, we got Timekeeper, and I'm like, oh, okay. So, you know, I walk up during your intro, and I'm like, all right, cool. It's on the rap stage. It's going to be a hip hop set. Bass drops. You start roaring like a fucking caged lion.
Yeah.
And you're throwing down hardcore style, like just letting it all hang out. And it was the most unique thing I'd seen between all the lights, all of this. So Timekeeper started back in...
Good question. I think 2016, I believe. End of 2016.
I apologize. I wasn't even necessarily asking that, but I did want to know it.
Oh.
I was more asking about location because you are not a local Yoko like the rest of us.
No, not at all. It started back in Minnesota, actually. So it kind of has a little bit of history, dude, because originally after I left this, like, it was my first, like, real band ever. And I ended up, like, getting kicked out of that, for lack of better words, because we were in Wisconsin recording, and I was like, yo, I have to get home. And our vocalist was just like, dude, it's just fucking McDonald's, just like call in. I was like, no, it's my job, I need the money, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I quit that, recorded a few songs, and ended up creating a band called Imperials. And we recorded a couple songs with several different vocalists. We tried over and over again for different vocalists and stuff. And, you know, eventually I had to step away because I was on drugs at the time. So I was like, hey, guys, I'm not, like, fit to lead this. Like, here, you guys have it. So I gave it to Jawan, who was the guitarist in that video, and our bassist at the time, Denny. And I gave it to them. And, you know, I was off doing drugs and stuff like that. They tried to connect them with it. 2016 rolls around. I got sober. And I created Timekeeper, and I was just playing guitar and going around to these different open mics and trying to do, like, little shows and stuff like that. And I hit up Denny, and I was like, hey, man, like, I was trying to find a drummer for him, and that's when we found Derek, who was the drummer in that video. And I was, you know, I kind of sent him that way, and I was like, if you guys need a guitarist, like, my heart's with those songs. He's like, our guitarist actually just ghosted us. So I was going to kind of go back to that, and I was like, hey, well, I kind of already set up a brand with this, so why don't we just repackage everything, re-release, like, the 3 songs that we had, and move forward as Timekeeper. And, you know, we ended up having, like, a vocalist or two, or one vocalist with that whole setup, and then we had to move on to Billy later on, who was the vocalist in that video. And so yeah, after it kind of died, moved back here. You can interrupt me, and otherwise I'm gonna babble, and I don't even know. Like, by the time I get to the end of the sentence, I'm like, wait, am I on track?
Well, no, you're perfectly on track, and then that leads to, you know, where we're at now. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are things about that era Timekeeper I want to pick your brain about, but, you know, we got some time on that.
Yeah.
My question is, you're in this group.
Yeah.
It's, you know, yes, you know, it's your vision, and, you know, we'll talk about that. You are quite the visionary. You and me have had so many conversations about what we want to do and concepts and whatnot. That was where we really kind of struck a chord with each other, was we are both those very vision, you know, those visionaries.
Vision driven.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a vision, and you know, we've got plans, and we've got, but you're with this group, you're driving the wagon, you're doing all those things. But what made you bring Timekeeper from the Midwest to the West Coast?
That was what was interesting, because for a little while I didn't even know if I was going to do it anymore. Because, you know, like, after our bassist left and our drummer left, you know, our guitarist and vocalist kind of wanted to do it, but we never really, like, met up and stuff. And it just kind of, I was like, hey, I'm going to just do this solo. And I didn't know if I was going to continue on with it or not. And I met my girlfriend, Amber, and we ended up shortly after moving out here, just, again, happenstance. And I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll, like, release some stuff. I just did it for funsies. And, you know, Kill Fear, you had mentioned Kill Fear, and I had sent Ben, like, a rap beat, and he really liked it, asked me if I wanted to play a show out there. I was like, you know what, like, fuck it, sure. And I started playing, like, a few little shows with him, and I'm like, I want to do this. So that's kind of what made me kind of want to take it a little more seriously out here and start getting the ball rolling with all the different shows and stuff like that.
So, by the way, when he says Ben and Kill Fear, those of you who aren't aware, that's Ben Chaos from the founder of the Kill Fear movement from up in Stockton. Hell of a guy, the Viking Geronimo. We've played him on the show before. And by the way, you're rather quiet tonight, sweetheart.
I'm listening. I'm trying to be a good listener.
So, well, I got you. And there are some things, you know, let's see, where are we at on time? Damn. Here.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so, well, no, because there's a, I'm a song. But I know we had planned, you know, to do your 2 videos. That, yes.
Well, one.
All of them.
Okay.
No. This is one of our staples on the show. So hey,
This video.
Oh God.
I want Jen to ask her questions because I'm over here.
I only have this video.
Okay, so hang on. Let me cue this
The
up.
demo version too.
There's reason for it. Like there's reason for it because during this, like being as we've watched it so many times, and it is one of my staples on the show, we have questions. So we have questions. So ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and hit another Timekeeper track. This is the Holy Spirit, you know, and this is kind of where we first start seeing our dear Bill here, as I like to call him, as a solo artist. So let me go ahead and get queued up.
This is gonna be interesting.
So, no, like I said, I'm trying to get Jen loose because she's got to help with this interview we've got coming up next month. So, all right. The Holy Spirit by Timekeeper. You're hearing it on the lunch hour. Pirate Flag Radio, WPFR.
.com.
Kicking it with Liam Bimps. Dude, I love it.
Not if you were. I'm not going to leave Ken over here. Long stairs is some big picture. I love you guys. Big
Could be the Holy Spirit.
All right.
All right, and we're back in studio now.
Uh,
That was the Holy Spirit by Timekeeper. Honey, fire away.
I have questions. I have
Yeah.
a question.
yeah. What is it?
So every time I watch this video, I watch you at the what I'm assuming is a mini golf course.
Yep.
Was it open at the time?
Yeah. So
Were there like families being like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
no, there wasn't a lot of people there, surprisingly. It was really fun. So all those places, like the one where the glass was behind us was Dave and Buster's. The mini golf course was, I think it was a Boomers.
Was it the one in Modesto?
No, we went down to San Jose. Is that the area?
Okay.
Ish.
Yeah. And we went down there, and I was like, all right, well, I need something else. And I had the golf outfit with me because, like, you know, I paid a few bucks for it. It wasn't super expensive, but I want to get my use out of it, you know?
Right, and this is appropriate timing.
Right, yeah, perfect. So I'm like, hey, so I'm kind of filming a music video. I was wondering if I could go out and just like film some stuff on the golf course. And it was like some kid that was working there. They're like, let me ask my boss. And they were like so weird, so friendly, but like so weird about it. They're just like, yeah, sure. So yeah, it was open at the time. There were a few people. I don't think anyone was really staring at us from what I remember, because I think it was only like two couples on the golf course at the time. Yeah.
I can't believe you asked. I would have just showed up.
It's actually because an old friend of mine, his name's Casey. He shared this video with me once, and I don't remember the guy's name, but he was like, you know, how did I get interviews with these big stars like X, Y, and Z? And Snoop Doggy Dogg is what I remember specifically that he said. He's like, I just asked, and I took that with me for since the beginning of Timekeeper. It was just ask. I mean, we did a video at the Buddhist temple. We did one at the golf course. We did one at the arcade at the Mall of America.
That was actually something I wanted to touch on. Was the video for 7-6. You and me sat in this very room one night when you came to help me flyer for the rack and roll that we did in September here in Los Banos.
Yeah.
And you were talking to me about getting into the arcade at the Great Mall of America to film 7-6 for it was a birthday party, and it wound up actually being one of you guys' birthdays.
Yeah, it was our guitarist's birthday, actually.
So, like, no, tell us about that, how you pulled that off. Because, I mean, the Great Mall of America has hosted things like the first ever Monday Night Nitro, like, that was live. Oh. So, I mean, to get...
That's big shit.
Yeah, that's big shit, dude.
Literally, to anybody watching, if you ever want to do anything and it seems like super crazy or like maybe a weird idea, just ask them. I had to go into the arcade several times asking for their manager. And eventually I got his email address, and I was like, he's not going to respond. And I messaged him, and I was like, hey, this is a video idea that we have. I frequent this arcade. I have like thousands upon thousands of tickets. Can we shoot a video here? And he's like, you know what? I really like that style of music, and I like the idea that you guys are going with. That's totally cool. Can we do it before we open? So we had to go there, I think, at like 8 a.m. or something like that. And they gave us like free game cards and stuff like that to play whatever games we wanted to play, stuff like that. We were able to set up in the middle of the arcade. We had like some mall grannies, you know, the ones that are like power walkers. Dude, yeah, they're there early, and they're walking around, and they're just like, they just stop and stare through like the big opening or the window or whatever that was there. And yeah, man, it's just, you just have to ask, and the most random people will tell you yes. That's all it is.
I'm in sales, you know, and that's the thing is, you know, rule number one: if you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah.
A closed mouth doesn't get fed. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. All that shit.
My dad always told me the worst that they could say is no. So yeah, we just rolled with it, and we got to do it, and I was like, fuck yeah.
You never got turned down for prom, huh? Because you know that's when the girl says that you.
I never wanted to go to prom. I went to prom in 10th grade, because I think it was an 11th, 12th grade thing. and I was in 10th grade, and I ended up going with a girl because I was dating her for like a month or two, and her parents wanted me to go, and I was super like, I hated it. I was pretty much just hanging out with her friend's boyfriend at the time, just like cracking jokes with him.
Right, he hated it too. So
yeah, we're just like, all right, we're here. Yeah, so I never had to deal with that because I didn't want to go to prom. Yeah.
You know, I had a good time at prom. We went too far to go to Red Lobster, and then we came back and we actually went to prom. But I mean, I got a good story about getting knocked out or almost knocked unconscious by a huge set of titties. Like,
that's wild.
You know, we were dancing. The baby got back, and we went down, and we came back up, and her huge pendulous double eyes did not stop moving, and they chin checked me, and so I just kind of collapsed into her, and she was like, Are you okay? And I'm just like, this is the greatest moment of my life so
the little
far.
birds floating around your head.
Like, I just got knocked out by a pair of titties. Like, this is my dream.
This is a story. This is a story for the next 20 years.
I'm 17 years old at the time, and I'm known as the wrestling. Even back then, I was the wrestling and titties guy. So, I mean, you know, at that point, it's like, yep, like, this is great.
That's super funny.
So, moving forward, man, like, you're the musician, you produce your own stuff, you know, you record for yourself, and now you've taken the plunge into videography.
Yes.
You know, and
little bit. I'm just a guy with a camera. I have to say that because my girlfriend is a professional. And
or as you put it to me the other night, you're a guy with his girlfriend's camera.
The guy with because I don't know if you could hear that in the background of the voice message. She's like, it's my camera. I was like, but yeah, I mean that's what it is. I think she had like maybe mentioned to just kind of mess with it, or I had asked to mess with it, something like that. And I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. And I started just going to advice for musicians: get a camera and do stuff with it. It opens up a lot of doors. Because I just started filming stuff for people, and that's how I kind of met a lot of people. Is I was like, hey, can I film your set? And that kind of snowballed a little bit. I was able to do a couple of music videos and stuff like that for Horizon Point, Glitch Kill. I helped Harlot Exile for the I did a few others. I don't keep track all the time, but
I mean, that shows how much work you've gotten off of just, you know, like you said, borrowing your girlfriend's camera and being like, yo, can I film you real quick? Like,
and it's an old camera too. You don't even have to have the best stuff, but like that's the thing is like, because you just go there and you film stuff for people and you're like, here you go. And they might even be like, do we owe you anything? And you're just like, nah. And they're like, oh, cool. You just did a favor for somebody. You know how many times I've wanted our shows filmed and we just can't because it costs so much. I mean, like the cheapest person I can find is like $250, and I can't afford that. I work at Wendy's, you know, like 3 days a week if I'm lucky, you know, like 3 or 5 if I'm lucky, but like 3 on average. And so like it really does help a lot of people. You get to meet a lot more people that way. You get to network with musicians. You're not just going up to somebody and being like, hey, bro, I loved your set. I do similar music. You should really check it out. I know it's really loud in this venue, but like, here, bro, you got to listen to this part of the song, bro. Like, I used to, I'm pretty sure I used to, you know what I'm talking about.
100%. You're like, no, this is my life too. Like
that's how it is, man. But like, yeah, like the videography thing was just, again, everything was happenstance. If you just go out there and do it with absolutely no idea of how things are going to turn out, you can't be let down. Because the worst case, I helped some people get some cool photos or some cool videos and stuff like that. And I mean, at the end of the day, if that's what it was, that's what it was. But it ended up resulting in some work. I'm now trading Tim for, like, I'm trading videos, doing videos for him, and he does some for me. We just send the stuff back and forth. I mean, it opens up a lot of doors.
Well, I mean, on that note, no better time. The next video I had queued up was that new Harlot Exile video. So let's go ahead and pull that up, and then you can give us a little bit of backstory and history on it. So let me pull that up. So we got Harlot Exile, The Jester and the Fool. Just released 2 days ago. So as usual, when it comes to the lunch hour, this is a worldwide debut.
There you go.
Worldwide. Yeah. Worldwide. people everywhere are going to see this or listen to this on Pirate Flag Radio over in Bristol, Virginia, Bristol, Tennessee, Johnsonville, Tennessee. That's actually where the majority of our
Is that a
fans
radio
is.
station right now?
Not currently.
I was like, hold on a minute. Like,
This will be on next Saturday
okay.
at 8 p.m.
What's up, Virginia?
our time.
West Coast is the best. I'm just kidding.
We're gonna get hate mail.
Yeah, right.
Right,
I'm
Mike.
gonna get really strongly worded letters.
Mike Vanek's just gonna call me and be like, "What the fuck, man?"
Minnesota nice my ass. That guy was a jerk. Sorry. He was a joik.
It's Southern East Coast, so you be a jerk.
Oh my.
All right, I got this ass.
Roll that beautiful beam footage.
All right,
I'm not the only one that says it.
all right, hang on. Let me cue this up. All right, once again, worldwide debut, Harlot Exile, the Jester and the Fool, right here on Pirate Flag Radio, WPFR. It's not always a visual show, honey.
Yeah, but sometimes it is. So deal with it. You know what I'm gonna say there? Come on.
We're not the only ones. It's because I saw the Bush's Baked Pizza sponsor thing, and it says, comment, roll that beautiful beam footage in the comments. We're trying to see stuff.
The dog died and it's never been the same.
You know what, dude? I haven't got anything.
Okay.
In this castle's heart, where the darkness reigns, you are but a pawn playing in my game. I possess the key to these mysteries. Dancing in the dark, every step it plays your part. You are this masquerade, there's no need to be afraid. Set the jester to the full king of ice. With my mind astray, following designs, I will lead the way. Guide or friend or foe, you will never know. Oh, dancing in the dark, every step you get anything done. You are never but a fool. Oh, in this masquerade, there's no need to be afraid. Set the jester to the full. Rolling last, you will feel
I heard about that, yeah. Looks like that. Before y'all go, right, and then I'll later like, hey, crazy.
Oh, sorry. And we're back.
That's
Said
right.
it before the mic was unmuted.
Harlot Exile, the Jester and the Fool, man. I remember watching that band debut.
I don't.
And, well, you weren't here at the moment. You know, and they disappeared for a minute. I know that Courtney and Anthony went off and got married and whatnot. And, you know, and I figured they were in the lab doing their thing. And, man, to come out with that, fucking A, y'all. Like, welcome back. It's good to see y'all.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. I hope you're well. No, it was my pleasure to play that. Man, tell us a little bit about that. It's the Gaslight Theater in Turlock. You hooked up with Tim to start working on that. Like,
Dude, well, you know, I started my day by getting some McDonald's. Shout out, need a sponsorship. Love your iced coffee.
you're gonna get fired for this.
Traitor.
like traitor, man. Like, you know how active your employer is on Twitter? They're gonna roast you.
Yeah. This is separate. It's separate entity, okay? No, it was pretty straightforward, man. Like, he had an idea of the shots that he wanted, so we kind of did that. We deviated a little bit from what they were doing, performing shots, getting stuff with the jester. I mean, he pretty much had it all mapped out for me. I just held the camera and, you know, went around in circles, made him look cool.
Well, I mean, and they're ready to look pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like
it turned out great, man. I was a little worried because like some of the shots, it was difficult because we had like one of the doors in back. There was like a lot of light coming in through there. We had like the pillars. I forgot what the guy called them, but they were like, you know, basically the frame of the stage that was kind of like getting in the way and stuff. So I was a little bit worried with how the footage would turn out. But I mean, Tim did all the editing and everything. Again, we just send those back and forth, and I just I sent that, or he did that, but it was super easy, super fun, super chillax day. Couple hours in, boom, go home.
nice and easy. And add another list of the people that you work with, the people that you help to the resume. You got Tim and you got the whole band of Harlot Exile. Next, we might see the Timkeeper Harlot Exile tour.
Yeah, right.
You might. I mean,
You never know.
so I mean, the cool thing is there's only two of you, so it's easy to fucking, you know, slide in there and just hit the road. Like,
Yeah.
So, you know, speaking of that, like,
Yeah. I
like,
was gonna say, wait, did we dive into that?
yeah, like speaking of that, you know, so you come out here solo, and like I said, the first time I saw you, it's just tracks, lights, and you.
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you know, once again in one of those, you know, let's get high and talk on the phone kind of moments, you're like, hey man, I got Trevor. And I'm like, yeah, who'd you get? And you're like, John from Thrown Out. And I'm like, holy shit, that cat's badass. And
He's such a great guy too.
he really is.
Like, he is the I love working with him. I love being around him. I love him. It was a perfect addition to the team because, like, I wanted to do this solo for a variety of reasons because you know, like, sorry if I drag on, keep me on track here, but you know, like, I come from a town of 1,007 people. It's probably changed. It has changed by now.
Might be up to 1,100 by now.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but like, I came from there, and there were not a lot of music. There were like no other musicians in my grade besides like one girl and her younger brother, but they just did some cover stuff, and you know, they were properly trained musicians and stuff like that. But you know, there was no one there, and I had no one to help. There was only one other band in town. Well, technically two. There was one called Your Memorial. Shout out, they're so great. You should really go listen to them. But you know, they were significantly older than I was, and they also played in like a high voltage country cover band called Lost Highway. And so I didn't have a lot of resources or anything, so I really wanted to keep it kind of solo for a while. But you know, Amber had mentioned about how like just live drums would be better, and they are.
Live drums are shit. I got tapped to be a live drummer for a rapper for a while.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it was so cool to just add that dynamic to it. It's just one more thing on stage.
Right. And you know, like, it was really funny because like I went to one of the Thrown Out shows, and he was like, hey man, so just like consider this like an audition. And then he like played his set and he left right away. We didn't talk again for like a month or something, and I don't remember who hit who up, but you know, we had discussed him being with us, or like being with the project and joining it, And I was like, yeah, man, like let's go, let's do this. That's been a super huge blessing, just having him along. It's changed things immensely. We still don't use other members because we send the tracks out and we separate them all so that the sound guy can do everything that he needs to do to them to make them sound good. But we're trying to do more with less, just to kind of like show, especially the younger generation or people in like small towns, that like, hey, shit is possible if you just go for it and use the tools that you have at your disposal. Anybody can do it.
It always circles back to just do the fucking thing.
Yeah, just do it.
Funny story real quick about John. So when we did that show in September, as you know, I was not only was I a lead promoter, I was stage managing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was the one loading gear on and off and whatnot. And all of a sudden his mom comes up and is like, all right, baby, well, I'm going to leave right after your set, so give me a hug real quick and whatnot. I didn't realize she was talking to John. I thought she was talking to me.
Okay.
So, like, I just turned and give this woman, I was like, you know what, small town, I might have met you before, whatever. Like, so I just turned and give her a hug, and no hesitation. Like, she didn't back off.
She just gave you a hug.
She didn't look at me weird, nothing. Like, she just gives me a hug. And, like, I'm just embracing this older sweetheart of a woman, like, real quick. And, like, then
adorable.
And then after a second, we just kind of back up, and we look at each other, and I was like, you're talking to John, huh? And she was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And she just hella laughs. And she's like, it's okay, baby. I like hugs. And I'm like, it's cool. And like, once again, John has always been a very nice guy to me. When we played Titan Fest last year with Thrown Out, was the first time I met John. And we were hanging out for a second right after I got my gear off stage. And I've been friends with Carlos for 25 years.
Yeah.
Like their singer. Like he was in one of the first local bands I ever followed.
Okay.
So like, of course I'm going to be a fan of Thrown Out.
Yeah.
Like that's just kind of what it is.
Yep.
And so like immediately if I'm a fan of a band, I'm going to meet their members. I'm going to talk. I'm going to hang out because that's the guy I am. So me and John start talking right then and there. And he's like, bro, like you gave me like War vibes and Mushroom Head and Slipknot and all of that. And he was like, and dude, just the way you get after a crowd, like it's insane. Like people are scared to do what you do. And you're doing drums, vocals, and playing a hype man. Like, how do you do all that at once? And I was like, it kind of like you. I just fucking do it. Like,
job needs to be done. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah, and not only that, but a fun fact about John, he was the guy who mentored Travis Cook from Red Key.
Their drummer?
Yes.
I've only seen them that one time. So, like, my memory is vague. I just remember their basses running around. I remember them. They were really good.
They're so good.
So good.
And they are a major staple on this show.
Yeah.
Like, they release a track, I play it, and they show up in the chat. Every time. Like, every time at least one of them shows up and talks, usually 9 times out of 10 it's Lance. But, like, all of them were actually watching last time, and they even, like, messaged me afterwards to be like, hey, man, we were all here. We were lurking, but we were all there. And we want to tell you thank you. And that's the best thing I love about this music community. I hate the term scene. I have a big beef with the term scene.
I remember that when I had said community to you, you were like, I'm so glad you used that word instead of scene.
Well, because, dude, like, scene, scenes are backbiting. Scenes have one-upsmanship. Scenes have, like, bullshit involved. But when we're a community like we're supposed to be, and like we are out here, 90% of us. There's always those that ruin it for those of us. Yeah. And they usually get weeded out and they go away.
Yeah.
But the benefit to being a community is we're there for each other. When we actually walk up and say 6 set, bro, we 9 times out of 10, we actually mean it. We watched your set. We hung out. We hugged you. We're at your merch booth. I mean.
It's also like, I don't know. I got to watch my words here because I don't want to talk shit about the homeland. But it is very, very, very incredibly different vibes out here.
I was kind of curious about that too, because you come from a totally different land.
Yeah,
and then you said the town you came from was like super tiny, and I'm like, I wonder how different California is from
night and day. Like we, there's like promotion company that pretty much runs all like the bigger shows and stuff like that around the area that the bands work with to sell tickets to get on these shows. And there are some local shows. There are quite a few local shows, but it's a lot different energy, a lot different vibe than out here. There is a sense of community, but I feel like it's just so diverse out there and so just kind of like spread around in terms of style that it's this community, that community, this community, this community. It's different communities.
Everything's separated.
Yes, to a degree, yeah. Everybody knows of everybody, but it's very different. Like out here, it's like everybody knows everybody, and they're all everyone's going to each other's shows. It doesn't matter what it is. It's not just because they like a certain style of music or because they're friends with X, Y, Z. Like people, and like to me, it's very different because I'm like, whoa, I didn't expect these people to show up, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it is different in that regard. That like, there's just so much. And maybe it's only because I spent time in like Modesto, a little bit of the Sac area and stuff like that. You guys are a little bit more spread out, so I'm sure that you guys have those here and there. But like in Minnesota, it's the Twin Cities and Duluth, kind of, and Rochester, which is just dead for music, and St. Cloud, where people go up to sometimes to play. I mean, like it's so different here. You have Modesto, you have Fresno, you have Sacramento, you have over in like I keep forgetting the name, San Jose, like that area, San Francisco, stuff like that. Whereas like Minnesota is very concentrated. So it's very odd to me that like so many people out here will just drive from so far away to come see each other play. Like it's very unique to me.
Well, I mean, one of the things you mentioned, it's funny that you say that we'll make those travels, because like Jen and I, especially in my early promoter days, like we go scout. Like Friday night, she picked me up from work at Burger King, and it was, where are we going tonight? Oh, let's go to San Francisco.
Just because of the McDonald's sponsorship thing that I want, but Burger King. I'm just kidding. Anyways, yeah. So
yeah, fuck Burger King anyway. Like,
yeah, McDonald's is better. Anyways,
but like she would pick me up, and it was, hey, let's go to the Pound in San Francisco. Man Make God's playing, and Rivals are opening up. And I've wanted to check them out for a while. Let's go check them out. And that would be how we would meet all these other bands. This is long before the days of social media. And so the benefit to it, like, you mentioned earlier, you never know who's going to show up where.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it, because I mean, you've got your more hardcore bands in Modesto, and then you've got your quote unquote thrash metal bands. I mean, tonight Cursed is playing with a Motorhead tribute in Merced. And you don't know who's going to be there.
Well, and that's just it. Like, that's the weird thing. It's like back home. And again, like I was saying, like I didn't want to talk shit because it's not talking shit. It's just like out there. It's like I knew who was going to show up at these shows.
Right.
I knew who would be at this show. I knew who would be at that show, and you would just know where everyone's going to be. So that's what's way different out here is you just don't know. It's a whole different ballgame. It's crazy.
So, all right, let's move along, because man, we
blew through that hour.
Yeah. And but you want to know the good thing? Pirate Flag Radio lets me do whatever the fuck I want.
Fuck yeah.
So, my brother owns the station. So if we want to do an hour and a half, 2 hours, but yeah, I'm gonna be at mine. I know the owner.
I know a guy. I grew up with them.
So you know what? Let's go ahead and move on. By the way, Blaze Cavalry. Did anyone see my Pikachu? Liam's the man, dude. I'm assuming that's one of your boys.
That is one of my boys. That's the guy who is doing all the mixing for the new material. Actually, he's doing a phenomenal job, dude.
All that stuff, all those things you've been sliding me on the side there.
Yep. He'll even be doing the Holy Spirit. He's redoing that one right now. Actually, I'm really excited to hear, dude. I know we got to go into the next song or whatever like that, but I just got to give a quick shout out to him. Blaze is from Florida, actually, and I just was posting some TikToks, and he just happened to see one of them. And I think he had reached out at some point, or commented on something, however it happened, but he's been doing such a fucking bang up job, dude, because like all the stuff I do, because, I sold everything to move out here, like classic cliche story, sold everything to move out here. And I've been doing a lot of work with like MIDI guitars, MIDI instruments and stuff like that. and he's been making them sound so not MIDI, not fake, like because they're real samples of things that people like, like actually like each note is recorded on the guitar and you have to plug them in, whatever, blah blah blah. I'm just saying that to the people, for the people who don't know. But like he's been making it sound so good, so good, dude. It's been crazy. Like having him on the team has been such a fucking blessing.
It's always great to find resources from everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's one of the benefits we have in this day of social media, internet age. You don't have to. Used to, you had to go find a guy local to your area, hope they had time for your studio, get charged,
hopefully
whatever they
do
wanted.
good,
Yeah,
do well.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, like, and that's the thing, and like, thank God for the internet too, man, because like the person who did the other recordings, like The Wish to Be Remarkable, they're great at what they do. They are an absolute wizard, and they do some. That was weird.
Nobody would have said jack shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sorry, my bad. Just gasping for air. So like they do a really great job, and they do some stuff with a lot of different artists. But the one thing we weren't able to do, we tried it out a while ago using the Odin plug-in with them for like one of the leads, because I was like, maybe I could take the lazy way out. They couldn't exactly figure out a way to do it, and I don't know how Blaze has figured it out, but he figured out something, and I've tried other people too. I mean, very skilled engineers, I guess would be the term, right? Like people who do mixing, people do mastering and stuff like that, like very talented people, but it takes a special breed to be able to do what he is doing with the materials I'm giving him. It's crazy. I'm so psyched for everyone to hear it.
I'm just stoked that I've gotten to hear it piece by piece. Like I love the fact that, I'll look down, I'll have that messenger notification, and
you want to hear something?
Hey, Bill sent a voice message.
I just wrote an acoustic track. Do you want to hear it?
Hey, Dave, Bill here. Just wanted to see if you wanted to hear this new song, and I'll get to check it out before anybody.
Super giddy about it.
My wife has grilled me multiple times about my absolute fanboyhood of you.
I am so happy to hear that. That means I'm not just like sending it to you and you're being like, that's dope. It means like, oh fuck yeah, that's awesome.
No, that's absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
there we go.
Oh no, dude! Like if you hadn't figured it out, the enthusiasm. This is me. Like I am Gomez Adams crossed with Willy Wonka. Like I wake up with this fucking insatiable love to do two things: create and be enthusiastic about life.
There you go.
You know what else I'm enthusiastic about? Death. And speaking of that, let's go ahead and move on to one of our featured segments.
I thought you were gonna say glitch kill, but like
no. We before we get
we're not there. Sorry.
Before we get the glitch kill, like I have our usual fun death fact from the Mistress of the Macabre, the Central Valley's Elvira. The one and only Ellie Von Grimm has once again sent us a notable fact about death. So everybody out there listening on Pirate Flag Radio, WPFR.com, and watching tonight live with us, thank you for being here on Facebook and YouTube. Shut the fuck up and listen to this fun death fact.
Fun death fact. Apparently during an autopsy when they use a striker saw to saw off your skull cap, apparently it smells like Fritos.
Huh. Like dog feet.
It's just.
Like
Are we back?
We're back.
I can smell it. I can see that. I can hear it. I can see the cadaver, whatever, and I can just smell the Fritos, and it just makes so much sense.
I wouldn't have thought Fritos. I would have thought like maybe burnt popcorn.
Yeah. But like the bone.
Well, here's the thing. She said it was when they saw the skull cap to weigh the brain. She didn't say it was when they hit the striker saw on the arm, the limbs, anything else. It was when they remove your skull cap to the brain.
Ellie,
so
is it only the brain?
Is
it only your head?
Yes, Eleonora Von Grimace, you have just showed back up in the chat. Like, tell us, is it just the brain? Because we know you know these death facts about.
We sound uneducated. Just the skull, the cranium.
Well, because I mean that's the thing is that a combination of just that touch of fluid in the skull?
Different material
Is it?
underneath.
What?
Well,
It's still a bone.
Yes, but like underneath is brain, so brain's different material than you would find, anywhere else on your body. Is that what makes the smell? And how do you eat Fritos after that? After doing that job, how do you? I mean, I don't like Fritos.
They probably
anyways.
don't. They definitely don't.
Either that or they just don't give a shit anymore.
So
Yeah. Okay.
So you think I used to. She says couldn't tell you.
So we're gonna pretend.
Why not? Why couldn't you?
If you're available next week to do the death episode, you better have a fucking answer. And don't kill me. We're working on. I don't know if you noticed when I told you go look at the chairs earlier, but I have a fucking coffin sitting over there,
That's wild.
like a full-blown casket. And Ellie has said that she has a book that gives us the steps to make a zombie with two eyes, meaning the old Haitian style of voodoo zombie.
Oh, I'm not gonna mess with that.
And it has all the tetrotoxins and stuff either. And she has volunteered. This one I cannot clarify. All right,
So Google. We'll do some research.
we'll do some research. So this may be my last show as as somebody with a mind.
As a full human.
Yeah, because by next week I might be a zombie.
Wait a minute.
Like what Fritos though?
Will
Right? You think it's chili
I was
cheese
thinking,
or
dude. That's
original?
what I was thinking. I was like, I'm not even gonna bring it up because I just know it's regular Fritos.
oh probably no fancy shit.
It'd be weird. It'd be even weirder if they smelled like the chili cheese Fritos. It'd be most weird if they smelled like the hot Fritos.
Other than I learned that bit on a date with a mortician's son. Oh, so is this like a perspective thing?
No. Ellie is a master of death.
Yeah, this particular.
Like this particular fact she got from that. But no, like usually about midweek, I'll just voice message her and be like, "Yo, sweetheart, I need death fact," and like 9 times out of 10, within seconds, like she could have been ignoring my messages all day, but within seconds when I'm like, "Sweetheart, I need death fact for this Friday," like all of a sudden just bang, like fun, And I got Ellie on a video, and she could be in the back room of her job. She could be sitting at a stoplight. Doesn't matter where she's at. When it comes to get me a death fact, she drops everything and gives me priority. Like fun death fact. And 9 times out of 10, here's the scary part about this scary bitch. They're off the top of her head.
That's wild.
Like
Just stored up knowledge.
Sometimes you know things.
Oh man, I gotta take a bathroom break. Can we play the next video?
you want to go ahead and move on to that?
Yeah.
Because then after that, I'm going to require you to do some reading.
Oh, okay. Is there anything else we want to talk about?
I mean,
Anybody going once?
We haven't even asked.
Shane even asked what
Shit.
flavor of Fritos though.
Oh my god, it still has me finishing my Baja Blast. That's crazy. All right, yeah. Let's roll it.
All right, cool. So this is another video that you were commissioned to go ahead and film
Yeah.
by our
Yeah.
friends of the show. We have actually debuted their first 2 tracks that they've released this year. And now we're going to do the third one because apparently Glitch Kill, like Timekeeper, are staples on this show.
Fair enough.
And I will say this. All the members of Glitch Kill are great friends of mine. Like Aaron Jones, we were in a band together. Travis Miller, wonderful dude. Crusher, Butt Crusher. That's just a running joke we've always had for years.
I'm so bad at retaining names. I only know Aaron because David said Aaron in a message. I'm so bad with it because it was like DBLA drummer. So I'm like,
Double A.
Oh my god!
I
I
was
forgot
like-
Crusher had a real name.
I was like,
Right.
blah.
Well, it's funny. You just refer to him as David. That's Crusher.
Oh my god!
Oh.
Like, and it's funny because I didn't know his real name for the longest, and it's the same as mine. Like, it's Crusher.
It's just Crusher.
Like, and there was always the joke that I was gonna, start a band just to write a song called "Fuck Crusher."
That's funny.
Like, and then of course Shane, who has been on this show, he's come on and done videos from his car and got kicked off the internet for it. And then
Wait, what?
Shane, his connection failed on him.
Oh.
But like
okay.
he's middle of going off, and all of a sudden just boop, he's gone. Like, it's Glitch Kill, and then Robert, who they played that show for me in LB last time, and this motherfucker, he sold all their tickets.
Yeah.
Like this motherfucker just showed up and showed out, dude. He's like, I'm the new guy. I live over on this side of the valley. Fuck yeah! And he sold like half.
He's actually the guy who got me that guitar so I could record that acoustic song. Like I basically ended up like filming the video and then used what I got to buy the guitar from him, and that's how I was able to do the acoustic one. Fun fact. So it's pretty cool. And then we've been talking like music and stuff like that since then. He's been
Nice guy.
yeah, great dude, really skilled writer.
Yes.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see the turns that they take.
So, dude, Glitch Kill has been on a tear, and I'm proud to debut the Tempest right here, just for Lee. Once again, worldwide debut, worldwide,
Wide.
right here on the Lunch Hour, Pirate Flag Radio, WPFR.
.com.
Thank you, sweetheart.
.com. Did you hear it this time? .com.
Is the Tempest. Also featuring Brian Lewis from Nordic Cross.
Into the tempest, brace for the fall. I'm pacing
I got Brian's love. I'm like, I love Brian. All right.
into the onslaught, across the divide, past the point of no return. I'm in the eye. Rise out light, whether eternally brave, endless wise cows up, looked up the side, perceived the rise like a free will. They went and played their part, rules never from the start. A truth never realized, I never left your side, despite the sign. Check it out, ready at M9, all the shite, a standby to assume any of the blame. But you're on the way up, but I carry another dose for a life less ordinary. Strip away, walk the affection made. What about dozen bodies that will play? It's not about the tally of the kill. Thumbs down to the damage that you fucking tell. Into the tempest, reach for the storm. Abyss of the veil, the shadow on the wall. Into the onslaught, across the divide, on past the point of no return. I'm in the eye. Across the torrent, resist the tide. The darkness seems to be up in the light of sight. I gotta hold on when the weakest have fell. Through all the bullet, bring me your help.
Oh, this is the end of it, I think.
Reminiscing on the moments made the bleed. Derelict in the reasons for your keep. From not the final when it's in a rain. Line of sight, you will touch your light. Smoking cinders left everywhere you stand. Caught unaware, couldn't really give a damn. Cynical to the little bit of feeling true. Can't run a hop when the scars hitting you. Break the cycle before it takes hold. Press aside, just fucking let it go.
Where'd you get it from?
That I am a toad, but there's always gonna be tomorrow. The darkness seems to be off in the light of sight. I cannot hold so well, the weakest have fell. Through the calling now, bring me your help.
I'm so happy he's got a band back. Bro, if we talk back at the NCR, I know. Right. Oh, we keep on getting. Oh, we're gonna get drunk right when we go. And we are back. And there it was. The worldwide debut of Glitch Kill the Tempest into the Eye. Tell us a little bit about filming that video. You were just telling me that's Diablo Grande out there towards the Portal Canyon.
Yep. It was just kind of like, hey, this might be a cool spot. So I thought they had it all picked out. They, I thought they had seen it before, and we just kind of went out there and we were like, these would be some cool shots. There was some like a family that wanted to go fishing in like this it was like 6 inches of water. And I was like, why are you taking your kids to fish there right now of all times? But yeah, we just went out there and it was super quick, super easy. All the video, dude, I've been so blessed with all the videos just being super quick, super easy, super straightforward. It was like, let's film this, put it together, and it was done. It was that simple. There's not really any crazy stories to tell with that one, if I'm being absolutely honest with you.
You didn't find any bodies out there.
Nope, no bodies.
Well, I mean, Del Portal Canyon's got a reputation for bodies.
That's crazy.
And the thing about it is, it burns every year.
No one even knows it exists. It's there. It's right off I-5. You go in springtime, it's very pretty.
Yep. Fair enough.
There's a cave.
Yeah, I heard about that. There was a cave bunker thing or something like that. We didn't get to check that out. But I want to go check that out at some point.
Well, and there's if you keep going up that way, there's a little bit of a really cool park up there.
Yeah.
And if you keep going, there's a little bar.
There's a bar?
Yeah, there's like a little bar and tavern, like right before you split off towards San Jose.
Why?
If you go all the way through, you'll end up in San Jose.
Really?
You will escape with your life because the roads are like this big.
Yeah, kind of like the one. What is it? The Altima, like right next to the Altima, it's Patterson Pass or something.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I drove that once, and I will never drive that again.
Yeah.
I was like, that's insane.
It's the Morgan Trail finish it.
Yeah. Like, dude, you will just like 90-degree turn out of nowhere, and it's like, oh, the speed limit's like 50, and I'm like, why?
Why?
Right?
How?
Population control? Like, what are you doing?
Right,
like,
we're hoping you die on this one.
Yeah, fucking wild, man.
No.
I had some close calls just the one time I went there.
No, dude, welcome to California, because like here in the Central Valley, there are like 2 or 3 main ways into the Bay Area, and then there are these back ways. And all of those back ways are like that. You mentioned Patterson Pass, Diablo Grande, the Portal Canyon. And if you go to Santa Cruz, there's, you can go up 152, 101, all that. Or you can take Hecker Pass, which is the same shit.
Don't take Hecker Pass.
Yeah, don't take Hecker Pass at night.
It's terrifying.
Don't know that one.
It's some shit, dude. If you go up into Gilroy, and instead of, going up 101 and then taking, all the other roads, I'm just saying, if you're ever out there.
Highway LOL.
Yeah.
Sorry.
For those of you that do not live in California, those of you that are on, other time zones over there, California is not San Francisco or LA. Only we have a lot of bumfuck Egypt in the middle. And that's pretty much where we are currently.
Oh my God, when we were moving into California, we got over the border and we had to take this one road, and it was so steep. So steep. And what was it? There was something, the brakes on my girlfriend's car were sticking. They were getting like really hot and just like sticking to the thing, and so we couldn't, we had to stop several times and pour water on them to get them to loosen.
They were smoking and shit?
Not quite smoking, no. They were just getting like really hot. I don't remember exactly what was wrong with them, but they were sticking. And so that entire hill, I think I had to drive her car for that, because I was like, hey, I'll just drive your car the rest of the way. I had to drive it with absolutely no brakes, because if you touch the brakes, they would just lock. And,
Did you guys come in the north side or the south side?
south side. So there was just a giant, just straight steep slope, dude.
Barstow
Needles, kind of.
Needles, probably. Yeah.
I'm not sure, man, but that was one of the
Nothing.
scariest moments of my life.
By the way, circling back to our death fact, Madam J, regular contributor to the show, said she just asked her mortician neighbor, and it's bone in general. The breakdown of the bone releases volatile organic compounds like hydroxyapatite.
Hydroxyapatite.
Well, Madam J holds 3 different biology degrees.
Oh, okay.
Like, she is an absolute genius, and she came and did the show. And we have to re-record it because thanks to not having a decent microphone and the camera being over there, like
It was just dark and you couldn't hear anything.
me and her, even me and her, loud as we were, like it sounded like we were mumbling, and Jen is like inaudible.
Yeah.
So we have to redo that again.
Oof. So what else are we going to talk about?
Good shit.
Dave?
Well, right now, it's lunchbox, sir. One word, capital L, capital B. Thank you very
Sorry.
much. We don't use Christian names on this show.
All right, about
Fuck you, call me Jim.
that.
Because fucker
Got him.
is not proper. I don't know.
Yeah,
So anyway,
I can't come up with anything that fast. Why would you ask me that?
let's move on to everybody's favorite feature. And, you know, I'll throw an extra song on the back end of this just to close out. But let's move on to everybody's favorite feature. And I have been gearing Liam up for this one all night because he was like, "What?" Like,
Yeah.
So, all right, we all know the internet is a terrible, terrible place. And as a man or a boy, sometimes you see a pretty woman's picture and you could like it, you could heart react it, you could even give a care react. And then you think, maybe I want to talk to this girl. But unless you've got something intelligent, clever, witty, or decent to say, for fuck's sake, man, stay out of that girl's DMs. Yes, it's time for Stay Out of That Girl's DMs, where we take all our favorite friends and we expose creeps on the internet who will not leave them the fuck alone.
This has got to be good.
There's no dicks in this one, is there? Because everybody, my mom showed up right at the time. Like,
Oh, man.
everybody showed up right at that time, that one night.
Right? Gershok was like, dude, we had like 10 people listening on Twitch, and they all tuned out as soon as Homeboy's dick was on screen.
Oof.
And it wasn't even his whole dick. Like, homie just sent in a naked picture where he had like, I would say like third mast going.
It was offensively not a whole big thing. You
That's-
send it or don't.
That's
Probably
funny.
don't.
Well, it was on a dating site.
Yeah, I know.
So anyway,
Oof.
Probably don't.
so we'll go with this first one. Who's reading first tonight?
Okay.
We ain't gonna make our guest go first.
Okay, then we'll go this direction.
All right. So me or you?
That's
Oh my
really
God.
tiny on the screen.
It'll get bigger.
Oh, here we go. That's what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice, Knuckles. Hell yeah.
Oh my God, the light. Okay. This is from Weird Beard 19 something or other. Wish I could see more of you.
This is one of our
Oh.
pretty friends in a sundress, because sundress season is on. And if you follow me, you got to see Jen in hers last week. And I just want to say for my Letterkenny fans out there, yo!
The most uncomfortable night. Oh, it was awesome. I hate wearing dresses. Anyway, I wish I could see more of you. I post a lot, lol, of what you don't post here, lol. Oh, definitely not. Can't wait for the day you do. That's kind of a shut the fuck up.
My favorite thing about this whole exchange is when she said, "Oh, definitely not," he heart reacts the motherfucker.
I love this response. But if you were to
Can't wait for the day. I hate how people type, dude. Lack of punctuation.
Oh,
Like, and how people can understand. Anyways,
there's a
that's
lot
all
of that. There's a lot of that in here. Grammatically, it's just not a thing. You are not. These people are not thinking with the brain upstairs.
Yeah,
None of them, really.
I mean that's pretty tame. What else we got?
Well, I mean, this is. I like to start with softballs,
dude,
Yeah, like I like to start when we ease in.
I'm kind of really upset because when you asked me to do this show, I literally had Facebook pulled up and there was like one of those DMs from like a dating site that like show the like shitty pickup line, and like had like 4 little messages back and forth. And I remember it was a fucking perfect one, and I was like, I'm saving this. And I can't find it.
It's gone.
It's gone. I
It's
looked
gone
everywhere for
forever.
it. I looked through everything I could to possibly find it. It's just gone. Can't remember what it said. Just remember it was really funny because I was sitting there like high as fuck, and I'm like, oh, this would be great for the show. I can't wait to show them. Like, God. Anyways, next one. Let's go to the next
All right,
one.
I'll let you read this one.
Ugh. Damn, you got big boobs from user.
You don't even have a name.
Well, I believe I don't know if that means this person was kicked off or if they blocked this person.
Is that Facebook? Is that what that is?
It looks
think
like
so.
it.
Looks like it. I don't know. Maybe they deleted their account or something like
They
that.
should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should. I mean, you know what? This person is a friend of mine. One of the
Not
bar.
same person.
No.
Okay.
No, this is the bartender from Smokey Joe's.
Okay.
So, like,
the one with the cool Philly accent.
Okay.
thank you for your observations, kind sir.
Well,
Have a great day.
and
Like,
I mean,
what?
And
Bye.
I mean, she do got some big boobs.
But
Like,
you don't need to like slide up in the I guess DMs.
right, like Liam
I
just
don't
said.
know.
Like, thank you for your observation. I'm aware.
Okay.
Right.
What else you got?
Like
fucker?
I gotta throw these bitches in a bra every day. I'm the one who carries them around with my back
I
pain.
get my back hurt.
Thanks, I've been growing them for years.
But
Been working hard on these.
Oh my god.
what's the response you expect out of that? Like, oh my god, no one's ever mentioned that before. How did you notice? Like, what did you think?
How did
was
you
gonna
know?
fucking happen?
Like, I don't know. I don't understand.
Now, sadly, once again, that's still a softball kind of.
Yeah.
Because let's be real,
Yeah.
some of the shit we've seen, like on just on this show, like
What was the one from last week? It's like something with sugar because you have a.
are you sitting on a bag of sugar because you have a sweet ass?
Dude, that fucking set me so
Right.
hard. I was like, bruh, nah, you did not just do that.
Well,
Ants? How you get ants?
well,
Dude, I always say from Archer. You watch Archer?
I haven't watched Archer in a long time.
Oh my god, I just rewatched it and I just like, no one ever understands that when I say it. I was like, you want ants? Because that's how you get ants. And everyone's just like, continues on with their day. Anyways,
all right,
next one.
I'll go ahead and get this. We'll stick with the boob theme, all right? All right, I got this one.
Oh,
All right. Opening line from this guy. I know, or first the girl says something like, I know, right? He's all, or actually just fuck me. She's like,
LMAO,
yeah.
sideways laughing face.
right. And then she's like, LOL, gives a thumbs up, and then he hits back later. This is June 11th, 2024 at 11:20 p.m. He says, boobies, I mean hi. 51 and still boing an instant LOL.
Ew.
Can you imagine?
Ew.
Just pause for a second, okay? Can I finish this one out? Because this is ridiculous. Like 51,
And you haven't learned yet.
51, and you're saying boobies, I mean hi. Like,
Hey, what's up, Miguel? Good to see you, brother.
bruh, and like, okay,
All right, and so that was June 11th, 2024. So May 23rd this year.
almost
Oh my God.
almost an entire year
Right.
later.
This motherfucker waits 10 months to be like, I need to see some nice boobies that I know, LOL, can you help? JK.
Porn
JK,
is free. Porn is free on the internet. For
JK.
fuck's sake.
Well, he says that he knows. Like, so he want. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am a firm believer. I want to see all my friends' boobs.
The Pornhub tells me that there's hot singles in my area. So,
Right. That's why I don't put up with your shit. There are hot single milfs waiting to chat.
Oh my god. A whole year later. A whole year, dude.
Still stuck on this. And you know that guy was probably like, shit, no. And he waited and waited.
Well, and this particular friend of mine, legendary rack. Legendary rack. That being said, like, and when she hit me with some of them later, like that will debut next week, like she was telling me that like this cat was not this cat, but another cat. He was clearly a married man. She knew it, and she's just like, thank you for never being one of those guys. I'm like, hey man, like I'm into boobs and all, but I ain't gonna go out of my way. Like,
That's when I send these to your wife.
yeah. Okay.
Gross. fucking gross.
Dude, I see a lot of screenshots like that. I should send you some sometime because there are like people who will literally, it'll be like a year of them doing it there was like one that was like every single fucking month at the same, like,
calendar reminder.
yeah.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
No, we had one
hey,
of those.
sup, hi, how you doing? Hey there.
No,
like,
no, dude. Like
bro.
we had one of those where we were like, dude, does this guy just get up every day and be like, I'm gonna text this chick at this time, this chick at that time, this other chick at this time?
He
Like,
has 30 different girls, one for each day of the month.
yeah.
He has to decide which ones he's gonna cut off for February or which, like, well, this month I'll try this. Like, bruh.
All right. I got this.
We have a picture.
Yeah, here we go. This is from the dating profile.
Okay.
This is Moni. He's 25.
Money.
Money. That is money. That is money.
Let me eat your pussy from the back and suck your toes. Toes. Nose.
We got a toe guy.
Nose. I don't understand the foot fetish. If that's your thing, that's your thing.
Yeah. I mean, no king shaming.
I just feel like he was in reverse there.
Yeah, kind of. That's kind of the thing you open up with, and even that is kind of a don't open up with that.
Yeah, it's an opener. Wow.
Yeah. Hi, my name is no. My name is not.
Here's a side profile view of myself. And by the way, let me just get it from the back real quick.
Right, and then check your toes.
Also your toes.
I mean, I guess at least he's doing that last because you do it in reverse order. If she hasn't washed her feet for the day, then you
Top to
get it.
bottom.
Well, do you think maybe he was throwing the first one out there and then negotiate down?
Could be, or he is aware of how would you put it? Because like I said, if you're walking around all day, you get dirt on your feet and stuff like that. And you sucking on the toes and then go up, like then you're introducing other bacteria and that
But
could
a
cause
UTI,
some
I
issues.
get a UTI.
Yeah. So I'm like, wow. Okay. All right. Do we have more of these?
I hate it so much.
Got a bunch.
Okay. All right. Let's
So
keep rolling.
fucking
I'm invested now. I
Gotta
want
stretch a
I want
little
to see
bit,
something
yeah.
that'll just make me go fucking wow.
All right. This one's on you, Liam.
Let me give you a little Mexican baby.
No,
I thought I said
no.
candy at first. Oh my god.
No.
And then it has a picture of her replied to your story. I'm loving it.
Okay. I mean,
Mexican
the second
pie.
part's not so bad, but the first part is no. We don't.
That's their first message to this person.
Right. Let's
Ever.
start with that.
We
ever.
cannot start with that.
The first thing I'm gonna say to you is, do you have a breeding fetish?
Again, no
Because
shaming.
boy, do I have an offer for you. All right. That was pretty straightforward. I mean, that's just.
I mean, don't get me wrong. As we see from the picture, this girl's a knockout. Like she's very pretty, looking great in her bikini. But he didn't even get that far. He's just like, let me give you a kid, and then late. So this is
What's the time frame on that? Those words are very
7
basic.
hours.
7 hours.
Okay,
Seven
so
hours.
it wasn't like several days, like months or years.
Yeah, it was like, hey, did you see my message? No? All right, well, hey, I'm loving this picture. By the way, you want that baby or what?
Like, how'd you feel about the baby?
Do you want one?
Like, we can work this out.
Crazy. Wild. Like, why is that your first?
That's the first thing.
Like you've said, like, hi, my name is, like, bruh.
Like, hey, my name's this. I'm interested in these sort of things. Would you like to talk about? No, let me give you a baby. Like, all right, you want a baby? Let me give you. Now, and here's the other thing. Are they talking about impregnating, or do they just have a spare
Do
baby?
they have a spare baby? That could be it.
Take this.
That could be. Maybe he's trying to drop off some hot merchandise. You don't know.
I mean,
Sorry,
don't get me wrong. I told my buddy the other day that, like, he's got so many kids and he lives around the corner. I thought about just dropping my kid off over there for a few hours.
Oh,
Just because he's got enough to where he might be like, is this one ours? Like, and his wife, it looks enough like his wife where, and then I was like, nah, because you look at that kid and be like, that's fucking Dave's kid. Like,
it's Dave's kid. Send him back. Oh, no, we saw that one.
That's Moni. Unless Moni had.
oh, wait, that's money.
I was gonna
That's
say.
money again. My bad.
It's like, there's just two of this guy?
Oh my God, there's more.
Wait a minute. Yes. This is
Wait, hold on, let me see this. I want to see if I want to read it or not.
Denzel Sawyer here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's my turn, huh?
I don't know
All right,
anymore.
go for it.
I've lost track.
Interested in a 36-year-old black guy, 6'3" tall, with 11 inches, BBC from Michigan.
So he's not 6'3". He's 6.3
Tall.
feet tall. Okay.
Just
all right.
6.3 tall.
All
we don't
right.
know if that's feet, meters.
Yeah, he's 6.3 tall.
Right. I mean, it might be, he might be going to biblical terms, be like it's cubits in a span.
I didn't
Like-
even follow you there, but all right.
Go
No,
ahead.
no punctuation.
I have some things to say about this. There comes a point when it's not like, wow, that's impressive. It becomes, get the fuck away from me. That's gonna fucking hurt. I don't know where the line is, but this guy's over the line. Also, that's probably not true. So, either way,
Yeah. I mean, could be.
So you don't think this is meant
possible.
like
yeah.
this is Mendingo's twin, like messaging and shit?
I just.
Maybe it is.
So this one's Facebook for sure. And interested in the third. Like, you could have ended it with the first part.
Yeah.
Are you interested in a 36-year-old black guy?
You could have just not.
Right. Because this isn't even like a Facebook dating. This isn't like
It's just a DM.
This is just a straight DM. Dude is down bad. Like, I'm waiting to see some like real. I'm wanting to see some really fucked up shit. You gotta be like really fucked up ones that just makes you go wow. Because these, I'm like, this is like it's so sad, but like this stuff that we've seen so far is like I would say from what I've seen of internet memes and stories from friends and stuff, this is pretty typical,
Standard.
which is
Standard
fucked
fare.
up to say. but,
Sadly.
like, yeah,
Bar is pretty low.
yeah.
All right.
Or is it
All
not
right.
currently?
No.
And how long does it work?
That's okay. This is a question we've had a lot. Is this just like you spam everybody and just like a numbers game?
Right,
and
just,
hope one of them
cat-
takes the bait?
Right. Cast the net.
Or is it like you're just down bad for this one person, so you just try to like shoot your shot? But like, why would that be your shot?
Yeah.
Like,
Put some thought into it.
right.
Like, or you know what?
Hey, you busy Friday night? Like you know,
Right.
like what? Like,
You want to
start-
come all the way to fucking Michigan?
yeah, get
No.
a response first of all. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
All right. So this is our last one, and it's a series.
ooh,
Because I like to. I always love it when I get a series.
okay,
When I get that whole setup where it's just go. All right. So like this one, the girl who sent me this said this was a family friend.
oh fuck, okay.
You know what? No judgment until you see this horrible fucking.
All right. We got 3 sets here.
I love California. Okay, continue.
So we can actually this guy is from the East Coast.
Oh no, I was saying
No.
Oh that.
the coughing. That was the coughing. Sorry, continue.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a series. All right, there's 3 of them, right?
All right. Yeah. So Jen.
So Jen starts.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is from Philly Falser.
When are you gonna make a video with me? Huh? I've been drinking, and I'll probably won't stop telling you how hot you are. Don't be mad. I can't help it. With where that
I
ends.
can't help it with.
All right. So the first one was July 13th, 2023, and then July 15th was that second message. Go
Okay,
ahead.
the next day, the last video I liked was so hot. Your hair and makeup looked so good, and your sexy legs out in that body. Oh my God, we'd have so much fun.
I love that you gave it like some context just by like reading it that way. We're just like reading it like it would be so fun. Oh my god.
All right. Go ahead and take over, Liam.
I'm supposed to read this?
Good luck. Good luck.
OMG, Aleli, that video where you liked my comment, ... I can't get enough of it, ... So damn hot. That last video when you showed your tongue ring, oh my god, so ducking hot and sexy. And I love the videos with fangs. Ha.
This chick, by the way, she does vampire videos.
Yeah.
She's a vampire chick.
Okay. Yes, Lily. Video is so ducking hit. Okay, first of all, the first one, July 22nd, 8:58, July 23rd at 3:46. So he's been thinking about this for the last 6, almost 7 hours. Then he messages almost an hour later at 4:31 a.m. So what are you on,
What
dude?
are you doing?
Because it doesn't seem like it's the night shift the way this is going. And then July 20th, he was up all fucking night. No way, because that was 11:11 a.m. So like it was like 3:46, 4:31, 11:11. Do I have the privilege to talk to you? I can't see what it says there. I'm assuming it says "ha ha, sexy vampire." I'm assuming there's a little arrows in the way.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
Okay, and then we close out with.
You're such a bitch. I didn't even want to talk to you anyways.
Wait. Oh, hang on. Did I upload the wrong one? Hang on a second. Let me grab this real quick.
Okay. All right. Cool. While
Like,
we're waiting,
at
how's your
no
week
point-
been? Take this moment to reflect on yourself.
At no point was there any response to any of those messages.
None.
Either. Like,
None. He's been
you're just talking to
messaging for like a day straight, so he's like on one.
Yeah.
Like he has to be on one.
All right, hang on.
You're
Holding.
gonna do coke. Find someone to fuck. Jesus. Pre-plan this.
Beg buddies. Watch that become a fucking term now. All right, so we're waiting.
Yeah, I gotta go drag the thrilling conclusion
Well-
up here.
While we're waiting, how's your guys' week's been? Jen?
Okay, I'm like asking the audience here.
No.
It's been a very weird week.
Yeah?
Yeah, very scattered.
Yeah, just in general. Nothing, neither here nor there.
I had a holiday right in the middle of the week there on Thursday. So
Oh, yeah,
it always
yeah.
fucking throws everything off because you're like, you give me Friday off or don't give me the
Right,
day
like
off.
why? Yeah.
Why am I doing this? But I'm not gonna complain about a free day off. So
Yeah.
All right,
What day is it today?
Friday.
Oh wow.
All right. So our
Okay,
thrilling
all right.
conclusion here. All right, you should text me back and stop acting corny. And so she finally replies and says, "Stop being weird. I'm not into you."
I was before you
Correct.
continue, that message did not reach him because it has the red exclamation point.
Yes.
So he is blissfully unaware right now.
Right. And so maybe he blocked her real quick because he knew this was coming. And then so we started July 15th. We're now at July 30th. And his response, you July, and that's at 7:42 p.m. And then at 8:01 p.m., like 18 minutes later, he's like, you know what, let's just go ahead and get down to it. And he's like, let's fuck.
Throw it all up.
And then August 25th,
August 25th.
he waits
Almost a month
later and is like, am I allowed to DM you?
But you've been DMing.
I want to
Oh,
see what
fucking
comes
fine.
after that.
That was the last one.
No, but you can see right there it says replied to you.
She
So
on August 31st. So and she didn't send me those.
that's okay. That's okay. I mean, I'm curious as to how he responded. Because it's obvious, like, bro, like you're not getting a response. You're being fucking dumb. Like, I don't know. Go back to that first one, refresh my memory. What happened there?
All right, wait.
Horrible shit.
Wait, the
Happened
first
there.
one?
Yeah, like
The
the first
first
one of the
series.
series. Yeah. So when you gonna do a video? So, yeah, is this person like a content creator aside from?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
So that's what I assumed.
okay, wait a minute. Hang on. I don't know if she does any racy content.
Okay.
Like she does a lot of videos, a lot of TikToks with her, like doing lyrics and things like that. She is a beautiful woman, very beautiful, cool accent, really sweet.
Okay.
Like I have never, and once again, she's very attractive. She does wear a lot of low cut tops and stuff like that. But I mean, as far as like any OnlyFans or anything like that, I'm not aware of any of that.
Right. Well, the reason I ask is because like there's something that is kind of like I still don't fully understand is every single guy will just be like, I would love to make a video with you. You know what I mean? Like you can even like it's like why? I don't understand. They think that it's just like, oh, it's an opening to do this. It's like, I get if you're talking to the person for a little while, you know, and you're like friends with them and you know that they do that, then maybe be like, hey, but like
Right off the
your
bat.
first message, hey, you want to make a video? It's like, bruh, okay.
No.
Ooh, what are we doing here?
I'm just gonna pull up something to close the show off with.
Which one?
Oh no, you weren't showing that. Not what I just said. Never mind.
Tippin'? No, they actually said that that's what like people.
I love calling them
Oh.
that. It makes me happy. I know it's
Tippin'.
wrong, but it makes me happy.
Keep talking,
I
y'all.
don't know what.
Oh, I don't know. Sorry, I'm spacing out a little bit now.
Right, you hit that pin. It's getting a little late. You know.
A little late. I'm gonna drive home. You know, I mean, now that we're done talking about me, I have nothing to say. I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, I was gonna kind of wrap it up. So I mean, we've talked about the origins of Timekeeper. We've talked about, you know, the move out here. We've talked about, you know, your foray into videography. You and I have talked extensively about, you know, what you have vision wise. All of that being said, what's next for Timekeeper?
You know, man, honestly, what's coming next is just us taking our shot. And what that means is, you know, like I had mentioned, I've been trading video work with Tim. You know, I've been recording and sending that stuff to Blaze and getting those like mixes back and everything. But what really comes next is just like actually stepping into the identity of what this is supposed to be, what it has meant, all the meanings behind everything, and the perception of just like reality in of itself, and being able to step into that role to give people, you know, some music to listen to that helps, you know, not feel so alone in their perspectives or in their worlds, and trying to put out stuff that can really resonate with people or help shape their lives by realizing like what they are able to do with what little they may have. So there's a lot of things that are coming up, but like I said, it's just stepping into that role, into that identity, and giving people something of value to help them in whatever way, whether it's, you know, realizing they can do more with less or whatever. It's just, or their perspective on how the universe works is just helping to make people not feel so isolated and alone in their perspectives, their opinions, their feelings, stuff like that. So just stepping into that role and really just trying to go see what we can make of it.
That was one of the most profound things I've ever heard in my life, and certainly the most profound thing we've ever had on the lunch hour. You know, and this being a marathon show, you know, we planned for an hour, we've got an hour 45 plus. You know, and it felt like 25 fucking minutes.
I know.
Like, you know, it's been a great time. You know, Liam, go ahead and shout out where everybody can find Timekeeper, where everybody can hear you, see you, listen to you guys. Shout that out. Make sure, you know, those that are listening in Bristol, Virginia, Johnsonville, Tennessee, where they can find Timekeeper.
Everywhere, anywhere you listen to it, it is Timekeeper MN, usually for most handles. You know, Instagram is set to that, Facebook. I believe even our YouTube might be that. I really should know that off the top of my head. They're all pretty much Timekeeper MN. You can look us up. Look up Timekeeper, The Wish to Be Remarkable, and you will find our channels. You will find wherever you're searching for it, you will find it.
Timekeeper, 2 words on Spotify. That's where I go most of the time when I'm driving around. You know, I highly recommend it. Liam, we can't thank you enough for taking the time, making the drive, spending the time right here at Stonecutter Manor with us, you know, for this edition of the lunch hour. And man, you know, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure to, you know, just make your acquaintance, become friends, forge the relationship we have over the last year and a half. And man, I wish you all the best and success in life, in music, in everything you do, dude. You've got a seat at our table. Yeah, you know, you've got a place in our lives, man. In Timekeeper, we trust.
Appreciate it so much. And yeah, if you guys are looking that up on Spotify, or any of our social media right now, it is a little ghost guy as the icon if you're looking for it. That's why I always recommend the song and stuff, because you can just search the profile from there, because there's a couple timekeepers out there. So what can you do?
What can you do? So anyway, once again, this has been the Lunch Hour on WPFR, PirateFlagRadio.com. You can check us out live every Friday night on Facebook and YouTube. Go ahead and, hit the subscribe link. Once you find that Lunch Hour page, it's a picture of me and this beautiful woman next to me. Hopefully you see her, not me, because, I'll drive you away. She'll draw you in. But other than that, keep your eyes up. On July 11th, let's not forget, we have Scream Queen extraordinaire, Jessa Jupiter Flux, coming to join us. Sadly, she won't be here in person like Liam is, but she'll be joining us via restream, and we'll be asking all the questions about all her movies, especially the Paul Ragsdale series that she's done in Murder Size and the upcoming OnlyFans. And other than that, man, we will see you every Friday night for the foreseeable future right here. We're going to go ahead and close it out with a song. One of our favorites. You hear this a lot on the Lunch Hour. This is Titan with the Human Experience on the Lunch Hour. Thank you very much for joining us.
TITVN. Give them some support.
I should share the screen.
Maybe.
The Human Experience.